The rain kept falling for 3 days. So did Sarah's tears. She sat by her window, watching the rain. Her coffee was cold, but she didn't care. Nothing seemed to matter anymore. 2 weeks ago, her life fell apart. Sarah and Marcus were together for 5 years. They talked about getting married, having kids, growing old together. She trusted him completely. She loved him with all her heart. He was her best friend. She thought he felt the same way. One day, Sarah came home early. She wanted to surprise Marcus, but when she opened the bedroom door, she saw him with another woman. The woman was Jessica, Sarah's coworker, someone Sarah thought was her friend. Sarah's whole world crashed in that moment. Marcus tried to explain. "It just happened," he said. "I didn't mean to hurt you." But his words meant nothing. He had been lying to her for 6 months. That night, Sarah packed her things. Her hands were shaking so badly she could barely close her bags. She moved to a small apartment and tried to figure out how to live again. The first month was terrible. Sarah went to work. She smiled when she had to, but inside, she felt empty. The hardest part wasn't being alone. It was worse than that. Sarah stopped trusting herself. She thought, if I was so wrong about Marcus, how can I trust myself about anything? She stopped eating much. Food had no taste. Everything felt gray and sad. Work was hard. She saw Jessica every day. People whispered about her. Sarah kept her head down and waited for the day to end. Nights were the worst. At a.m., memories would come. Marcus's laugh, the way he kissed her, their happy times together. Now, all those memories felt like lies. Sarah would cry in bed, asking herself, when did he stop loving me? What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I good enough? Her best friend Rachel tried to help. You didn't do anything wrong, Rachel would say. Marcus was the problem, not you. But Sarah couldn't believe it. The pain was too big. I'm never doing this again, Sarah told Rachel. Love isn't worth this pain. Rachel looked sad, but didn't argue. Sarah built walls around her heart. Big, strong walls. She told herself she was healing. Really, she was just hiding. 3 months later, Rachel made Sarah go out. Come to the farmer's market, Rachel said. You need fresh air. You need to see the world. Sarah didn't want to go, but Rachel had been so patient and kind. Okay, Sarah said, but just for 1 hour. The market was full of happy couples. It hurt to see them, but Sarah followed Rachel around, pretending to care about vegetables and flowers. Then someone bumped into her. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? A man asked. He had kind eyes and dark curly hair. He was holding a bag of apples. I'm fine, Sarah said coldly. She wanted him to go away. I wasn't watching where I was going, the man said. Are you sure you're all right? Yes, I'm fine. The man stepped back. Okay, sorry again. Have a good day. He started to leave. Sarah felt bad for being so rude. Wait, she called out. He turned around. Your bag has a hole. You're going to drop your apples. He looked down and laughed. You're right. Thank you. He smiled at her. I'm James. Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah. There was a quiet moment. Then James said goodbye and walked away. Rachel appeared next to Sarah. Who was that? Nobody. Just someone who bumped into me. He was cute. He wanted to talk to you. Rachel, stop. I'm not interested in anyone. But that night, Sarah kept thinking about James's kind eyes, his warm laugh. She tried to forget him. Marcus had seemed kind too, once. Sarah didn't think she'd see James again. But 2 weeks later, she was at the library. She reached for a book on a high shelf. We keep meeting like this, someone said. It was James. He was holding books and smiling. You again, Sarah said. It came out unfriendly, but James didn't seem upset. Need help? He reached up and got the book for her. Thank you. When he handed it to her, their fingers touched for just a second. Sarah pulled away fast. James noticed, but didn't say anything. Good book. The ending will make you cry. I don't cry, Sarah lied. Then you're stronger than me. He smiled. Sarah wanted to walk away, but something made her stay. What are you reading? She asked. James's face lit up. He showed her his mystery books and a gardening book. I keep killing my plants, he said. I'm trying to figure out why. Sarah almost smiled. They talked for a few minutes. When James had to go, he said, I come here most Saturdays. I'm usually in the mystery section. If you ever want to talk about books. It wasn't pressure, just an open door. Sarah nodded. After he left, her heart was beating fast. She felt scared, but also hopeful. She hated feeling hopeful. Sarah told herself not to go back to the library, but the next Saturday, she went anyway. She found James reading in the mystery section. Is it good? Sarah asked. James looked up and smiled. Big. Sarah. Hi. They talked about books, then movies, then childhood memories. It felt easy, natural. This became their routine. Every Saturday at the library, they talked about everything and nothing. James never asked about her past, never pushed her. He was just there, being a friend. One Saturday a month later, James brought 2 coffees. I remembered you like it black, he said. Sarah stared at the coffee. Marcus used to bring her coffee. The memory hit her hard. She couldn't breathe. I have to go, she said suddenly. Wait, did I? No, I have to go. She ran out of the library, crying. That night, Rachel found her. I met someone, Sarah cried. We're just friends. But today, he brought me coffee and I panicked. I'm starting to care about him, Rachel. And I can't get hurt again. Rachel held her. Sarah, James isn't Marcus. And you're stronger now. What if I'm not? What if he hurts me too? That's the risk, Rachel said. But if you let fear control you forever, Marcus wins. He takes your future too. Sarah knew Rachel was right, but it didn't make it easier. Sarah avoided the library for 3 weeks. She told herself it was for the best, but she thought about James all the time. Then one day, she found a letter under her door. Dear Sarah, I don't know if you'll read this, but I wanted to try. I'm sorry about the coffee. I was just trying to be nice. I don't know what happened to you. You don't have to tell me, but I see you. I see your walls. I see how hard it is for you to trust. Someone hurt you badly. I'm sorry they did. You deserve better. I miss our Saturday talks, but I understand if they're too much. No pressure. I just want you to know if you ever want to talk about anything. I'll be in the mystery section. Saturdays at 10. Your friend, James. Sarah read it 3 times, crying. He saw her, really saw her, and he wasn't running away. She had a choice to make. Keep hiding, keep being afraid, or be brave. Saturday morning, Sarah stood outside the library for 10 minutes. Her hands were shaking. Every part of her said, go home where it's safe. But she was tired of being controlled by fear. She walked inside. James was there. When he saw her, he smiled so big. Sarah, hi. They sat down in a quiet corner. Sarah had practiced what to say, but now the words were stuck. James waited patiently. I was with someone for 5 years, Sarah finally said. I thought we'd get married. Then I found out he was cheating on me with someone I knew for months. She looked at her hands. It broke me, not just my heart, my trust. my belief in myself. I promised I'd never let anyone hurt me like that again. She looked up at James. These past months, talking to you, it's been the best part of my week. You make me laugh. You make me feel alive. And that terrifies me. Sarah, because I believed in someone before, I trusted completely, and I was so wrong. How do I know I'm not wrong about you? James was quiet for a moment. You don't, he said. There's no way to know for sure. I can promise I'll never hurt you on purpose. That I think you're amazing. That I'm patient. But trusting anyone is a leap of faith. I don't know if I can do that. Then don't. Not yet. James leaned forward. I'm not asking for your heart. I'm just asking to be your friend. To keep talking on Saturdays. Slow. Whatever feels safe. What if I never feel safe? Then we figure it out together. He slowly reached for her hand. But Sarah, you came here today. That took courage. Sarah looked at their hands together. It felt scary. It felt wonderful. They started small. Saturday library talks. Tuesday coffee meetings. 1 hour. Safe places. James shared his life. His job as a teacher. His dead plants. His grandmother. Sarah listened and slowly shared too. Small pieces. Nothing too deep. Testing the water. James never pushed. He accepted what she gave and shared back. One Tuesday, it started raining as they left the cafe. My apartment is 2 blocks away, Sarah said. Want to wait out the rain? She surprised herself by asking. James looked surprised too. Are you sure? Sarah nodded, even though her heart was racing. They ran through the rain, laughing. At her apartment, she gave him a towel. Your place is nice, James said, looking around. It's small, but it's mine. They sat on her couch with tea, listening to the rain. The conversation went deeper. Hopes, fears, scars. Can I ask something? Sarah said. Anything. Why are you so patient with me? Most people would have given up. James set down his tea. My mom died when I was 16, he said quietly. Cancer. It took 2 years. I'm so sorry. Thank you. But I learned something. Everyone carries pain. Everyone has wounds. The people worth knowing are the ones who've been through hard things and are still kind. He looked at her. You've been hurt badly, but you're still here, still trying, still brave enough to let me in even a little. That's real strength. Sarah felt tears fall. I don't feel strong. I feel broken. You're not broken. You're healing. That's different. James wiped her tear. And healing takes time. I'm not going anywhere. Sarah leaned into his touch. It felt like coming home. For 2 months, things were good. Sarah opened up more and more. She and James texted all day, had coffee on Tuesdays, library on Saturdays, dinner at her apartment sometimes. Rachel noticed. You're smiling more, really smiling. It was true. Sarah felt lighter, less afraid. Then she saw Marcus. It was a random Tuesday. Sarah was walking to meet James when she heard a familiar laugh. She looked up. Marcus was across the street, holding hands with Jessica. They looked happy. Sarah froze. Her whole body went cold. Marcus saw her. They made eye contact. He looked uncomfortable. Then he and Jessica walked away. Sarah stood there, shaking. All her healing disappeared. She felt worthless and broken again. Her phone buzzed. James, I'm here. Got us a good table. Sarah couldn't go, couldn't pretend to be okay. She went home instead. Sarah ignored James's calls for 3 days. She knew it wasn't fair, but the fear was back. It was telling her terrible things. You're not healed. You're pretending. Marcus replaced you easily. James will too. You're broken. Nobody wants broken people. On day 3, James came to her door. Sarah, please talk to me. What happened? She was tired of being alone. She let him in. I saw Marcus, she said. Her voice was flat. With her. They looked happy. James understood. Oh, Sarah. And I realized I haven't changed. I'm still the person who wasn't good enough for him. I'm still broken and scared. You deserve someone better. Someone whole. Stop, James said firmly. He moved closer. Marcus was stupid. What he did says everything about him. Nothing about you. You weren't not enough. He didn't deserve you. And I don't want someone perfect. I want someone real. I want you. Sarah shook her head, crying. I'm scared every day, James. Scared I'll fall for you and you'll leave. Or cheat. Or decide I'm too much work. I can't survive that again. James held her face gently. I can't promise you'll never get hurt. Nobody can. But I can promise. I see you, Sarah. All of you. The scared parts. The wounded parts. The brave parts. And I'm not leaving. How can you promise that? Because I'm already falling for you, James said softly. Not despite your fear and walls. Because of who you are underneath. Sarah couldn't speak. You don't have to say it back, James said. You don't have to give me your heart now. Just don't shut me out. Let me be here. Sarah fell into his arms, crying. I'm scared, she whispered. I know, he said, but you don't have to be scared alone anymore. The next weeks were hard. Sarah had good days and bad days, but James stayed, always. When she needed space, he gave it. When she needed him at AM, he answered. Slowly, Sarah started to trust. James's actions matched his words. Every time. One evening, they were cooking dinner together. James was bad at cooking, which made Sarah laugh. You're supposed to stir it, not stare at it, Sarah teased. I thought if I stared hard enough, it would cook itself, James joked. Sarah laughed a real, deep laugh. In that moment, cooking pasta in her small kitchen with this patient, kind man, she realized something. She was happy, not perfect, not without fear, but really, truly happy. After dinner, they sat on the couch. Can I tell you something? Sarah said quietly. Always. I'm still scared. That might never go away. But I'm also falling for you. And that scares me most. James turned to her. Why does that scare you most? Because it means I have something to lose again. Sarah, James held her hands. I can't promise a perfect future, but I can promise I will never betray you. I will never make you question your worth. I will always be honest with you. How can you be sure? Because when my mom died, I learned that time with people you love is precious. Too precious to waste on lies or games. Life is too short for anything but honesty and love. Sarah felt something change inside her heart. I want to try, she whispered. I want to be brave enough to love you. You already are, James said, kissing her forehead. Every day you show up, that's bravery. That's love. Sarah and James became a real couple. It wasn't always easy. Sarah still had panic moments. Days when old fears came back. Times when she'd pull away, testing if James would leave. He never did. When Sarah got jealous at a party, James explained everything patiently, made sure she felt safe. When Sarah had nightmares about Marcus, James held her, reminded her the past couldn't hurt her anymore. When Sarah said she was too much, James said firmly that there was no such thing. Slowly, Sarah's heart learned she was safe with James. 6 months later, James took Sarah to meet his family. She was terrified, but his family was warm and kind. His grandmother said, "He talks about you like you're the moon and stars. I haven't seen him this happy in years." That night, Sarah said the word she'd been afraid to say. "I love you." James smiled bigger than she'd ever seen. "Say it again." "I love you," Sarah repeated. "I'm still scared, still healing, but I love you. You showed me that love doesn't have to hurt, that my heart is stronger than I thought." "I love you too," James said, kissing her. "Thank you for being brave, for trusting me. I don't take that lightly." "I know you don't," Sarah said. "That's why I can." Love after heartbreak. 1 year after meeting James, Sarah got ready for their anniversary dinner. She looked different now. The sadness in her eyes was gone. Instead, there was wisdom, strength, peace. Rachel texted, "Happy anniversary. You deserve all this happiness." Sarah smiled. A year ago, she wouldn't have believed this was possible, but James showed her something important. Love after heartbreak isn't about forgetting the past. It's about finding someone who knows you were hurt and loves you anyway. Sarah's heart still had scars from Marcus. It always would, but those scars didn't define her anymore. They just made room for a deeper, wiser, stronger love. At dinner, James gave her a small box. "Don't panic," he laughed. "It's not a ring, not yet. I know you need time." Inside was a necklace, a small phoenix bird. "A phoenix rises from fire," James said. "It's reborn stronger." That's you, Sarah. You took everything that tried to break you and became stronger, more beautiful. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I'm not the same person I was before Marcus," she said. "I know," James said, "and I love who you've become. The person who knows how to protect her heart, but is brave enough to share it anyway." Sarah put on the necklace. The phoenix rested against her chest, a reminder of everything she survived. "I used to think heartbreak was the end of love," she said. "That once you're broken, you can't trust again. But you showed me something better." "What's that?" "That heartbreak isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of wiser, stronger, deeper love. Love that knows pain but chooses joy. Love that understands risk but finds courage anyway." James took her hand. "We healed each other. You taught me that love needs patience, that trust is earned, that people who've been through hard things have the most to offer." Sarah squeezed his hand. Her strong, brave, scarred, beautiful heart felt full. She had been broken by love, but she healed through it too. Not because James fixed her, she did that herself, but because he gave her space and safety and patience to heal. He showed her that not all love ends badly, that some people keep their promises, that trust can be rebuilt even stronger. "Thank you," Sarah whispered. "For what?" "For waiting for me, for being patient while I learned to trust again." "Thank you for being brave," James said, "for choosing love even when you were terrified." They sat there, hands together. Two people who knew pain, but chose each other anyway. Sarah realized something. The best love stories aren't the ones that never face problems. They're the ones that face problems and choose love anyway. Sometimes you have to break before you can rebuild yourself stronger. Sometimes you have to lose everything to understand what you deserve. Sometimes the end of one story is just the beginning of a better one. Heartbreak taught her what love shouldn't be. James taught her what it could be. As they walked under the stars, Sarah touched the phoenix at her neck. She had risen from the ashes, and she was finally, truly free to love again. Remember, your heartbreak is not the end. It's the chapter that teaches you what you deserve. Your scars prove you survived. Somewhere is someone who will love you because of your strength, not despite it. Don't let fear steal your chance at a new beginning. You are worthy of real, honest, patient love, and you are brave enough to accept it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. For more interesting stories, please subscribe, like, and share.